I don't think becoming a conductor was ever a dream of mine when I was a child. My sister was studying film at the Tel Aviv University, and one of the soundtracks she had to analyze was the one to Clockwork Orange. And there's a famous excerpt on it. It's the Scherzo of Beethoven Ninth Symphony. And I remember hearing it, I was maybe 12, and I just fell in love with it. And not only that, I became obsessed with it. We had one of those old records at home, and I must have destroyed that record because I listened to it so many times. And at that point, I was already playing guitar a little bit, but I immediately fell in love with orchestral music, and I knew I wanted to be part of it. And since there's no guitar in an orchestra, conducting was my, other route, and it just became that way. And then the first trip on my journey was in London. I was at the Royal College of Music, and I remember it clearly because at that time the movie Shine came out, and it came right after I auditioned for the college. And I remember seeing the film actually in Israel, and there was a beautiful shot of the college, and I remember screaming at the theater, "I've been there!" But that was my first stop in this journey. I studied guitar there, and 2 years later I also added conducting to this. And then finished my first degree there, and I thought, okay, what's next? I moved to New York City to study at Juilliard, and then I did my doctorate at McGill as well. And once I finally finished my studies after 11 years, my mom always jokes that I could have been a doctor. And I always say, but actually I did get my doctorate, I just can't treat patients. So the first job that I got was with the Alabama Symphony. I was their assistant conductor, and I was there for a few years. And then this job in Bellingham came up. And we didn't know much about Bellingham. And when I came to audition with the orchestra, I fell in love with both the orchestra and the city. So it was the perfect fit. For me as a conductor, the orchestra is my instrument. So wherever somebody gives me an instrument, basically I have to go. Somebody joked once that conductors are the only musicians who practice on stage. And it's very true. So you really have to go where the job calls you. And I feel so fortunate that this stop is now Bellingham, because it's just a wonderful, wonderful fit.